Siema, siema, z tej strony Rzeźnik i Hunter. Witajcie w Midnight SUNS. Lecimy dalej z fabułą. Otworzymy teraz drzwi i pogadamy z Nico.
Good. You answered. Getting hard to keep finding ways to say open door around here. And despite what Robbie says, I don't think the staff of one speaks High Elven. Blood magic stuff. Cool room. Spacious. Aw, is that bed for Charlie?
Yes.
So, if you're planning on giving me some sort of brooding code of the stoic warrior speech, I'm immune. Just ask later magic. From what I just saw out there, whatever crazy ancient living weapons stuff Caretaker put you through back in the day did a real number on you. We got a lot of work to do.
Work?
Yeah, talking to people, making friends, basic human stuff. Or quasi-human. You're a Midnight Sun now. One of us.
Nico, I was just hydro bombed. I could use some rest.
You and me both. Been bad dreams every night for me lately. I, keep seeing Wanda. She... Never mind.
I will meet you outside.
Yes! I'll go nuke us some popcorn and you pick out a movie. Oh, and it may just be the two of us. The others went outside, needed to cool off. Really need to hang a fan over that forge. Or maybe crack open the casket of ancient wonders a little?
Lecimy za Nico do świetlicy. O,
As long as Caretaker doesn't come up with
porozmawiajmy.
something tells me you don't have a favorite movie. Well, we can start you out with one of my favorites.
Dołączymy do spotkania. No proszę bardzo. Czyli jeszcze takie akcje są.
I know this entire situation's gotta suck for you. Not just the whole resurrected, chosen one thing. I get why facing Lilith won't be easy. I was 15 when I found out my mother was capital E evil.
No, nie wiem, taka zła przez duże Z.
Was your father there for you when you found out?
Dad was evil too. Long story, lots of drama. There was a cool dinosaur. I'll fill you in later. Look, I'm glad my mother is gone, but yeah, at times I just want to hear her voice again. Some days I'd give anything to make that happen. Makes me hate her even more.
I did not realize you carried such pain.
I just learned to bury it. You think I can afford a therapist on a superhero salary? I'm kidding. We don't get paid for this. Enough about our crappy parents. You missed out on decades of good movies. It's my solemn duty to fill this knowledge gap with the best examples I can provide. So, the first thing you need to know, the glowing briefcase is a metaphor. I really needed that.
O, strój kąpielowy nowy. I jednoczęściowy też.
So, what did you think of the movie?
I understood more than I should.
How? You've been dead for 3 centuries.
I'm not so sure I was dead. Not exactly. I recall a deep slumber, not the void. I dreamt.
Of what?
Of everything. Much of this world is familiar to me. I know it from my dreams.
That's not creepy at all. So, do you know everything?
No, think of it like this. I know what a car is, but I have no idea how to drive.
You're up to date, but not omniscient. Then I'm guessing you don't know much about me.
Just what you shared earlier.
You're always free to ask. Like, what's the staff of one? Or who were the runaways?
O właśnie.
I had some questions about your old team.
The Runaways? Sure thing.
Were you all heroes who banded together?
No, we were normal kids. We saw each other once a year when our parents got together to reminisce. And then we found out two very disturbing things. First, our parents were supervillains who sacrificed children to evil gods. Second, each of us had some sort of powerful birthright. Our parents wanted us to follow in their footsteps.
What did you do?
We ran, but eventually we realized only the 6 of us could stop our parents and their dark gods, so we faced them and stopped them from destroying reality as we know it. You know, typical kid stuff.
Who was on the team?
At first, Chase with his mad science gear, Molly, our pint-sized powerhouse, Carolina, the solar-powered sweetheart. Gert had a telepathic link to Old Lace, a genetically engineered Deinonychus from the 87th century. I handled the blood magic, though I didn't understand it much. And Alex, well, we don't talk about Alex.
Where are your friends now?
Molly attends Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Carolina left Earth to marry alien nobility. Gert... She didn't make it. After Gert passed, Chase and I had a falling out. The last I heard, he and Old Lace are living at his family home in LA. As for Alex, he chose his side, and it wasn't ours. He died with our parents.
To ciekawe, trochę inaczej pamiętam zakończenie serialu. Mieli 3 sezonów, nie wiem czy będą dalsze.
I had some questions about your staff.
Sure. But first, the basics. The Staff of One interprets words or phrases as spells, but it can only cast a spell once. No repeats.
Can you tell me how the Staff of One functions?
It's, blood magic, so my own blood is required to summon it. You wouldn't believe how many adhesive bandages I go through each year.
What about the words you speak?
They come true. Kind of. And not always the way I expect. It's like making a wish, but you can never make the same wish again.
I had some questions about your staff.
Go for it.
If each magical effect is unique, do you worry you will run out of words?
Not really. I only use the staff's power when I truly need it. The rest of the time, I rely on more conventional means. Like, you know, magic.
I should get going.
Good timing. Looks like Caretaker wants to speak with you, and wow, I should get to bed. Time flies when you're hanging out.
No trochę inaczej pamiętam
I'm
to,
glad
co
to
się
see
działo
you
z
using your
Runaways.
free time productively.
Ale może to jeszcze nie koniec.
It's a shame that Faustus got. Looks like you're finding your way around. Maybe making some new friends.
I was planning on getting some rest, but
Things are moving at a frantic pace. For all we know, I'll be landing a jet on the roof with Mr. Stark this afternoon. Not quite like it was in the good old days.
I remember many sleepless nights and blood-soaked days, always on the hunt.
I'll give you that. But there were times back then I wouldn't trade for anything. With both you and...
Agatha? Where is Agatha?
I am sorry. I should have had this talk with you much sooner. But you should know... Agatha... She's no longer with us.
What? That is impossible. She was so...
Fierce, indomitable, or maybe just kind to a fault.
Agatha's power. How could she be... gone?
She put her trust in the wrong person. Agatha died in an accident, caused by her protege, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. The Midnight Sun's latest recruit, a powerful spellcaster in her own right. Perhaps the most powerful Agatha and I had ever seen. Wanda's abilities were growing. Too quickly for my liking. Agatha was determined to help her control them. I tried to caution her, but she would not listen. There was an incident. An accident, I'm sure, but...
Agatha was killed.
Yes, incinerated in an instant. Not even ash to remember her by. The others were heartbroken, as was I. But I also saw the danger, the threat, if Wanda's powers were left unchecked. So I did what needed to be done. I sent Wanda away, to the Sanctum Sanctorum, to study under Doctor Strange. I know the others still harbor a great deal of resentment towards me for it.
Was Wanda so different from me as a child? Was it that easy to send her away?
I didn't have a choice. Wanda's powers were beyond even her own control, and this time I had no Agatha to help me, as I had with you. I thought she would be safe with Strange. On that part, at least, I was clearly mistaken. Ah, Wanda. Agatha. It seems we've lost them both now. I conjured a small shrine to Agatha's memory on the grounds, hoping to find some solace, a way to move forward. You should pay your respects. Maybe you'll find what I couldn't. Good night, Hunter.
Hunter może podążać ścieżką światłości lub ciemności i poprzez wybory dokonywane w opactwie i zdolności wykorzystywane w walce. Na poszczególnych etapach obu ścieżek można odblokować potężne nagrody. No. Charlie, prowadź, dziadu. Szybciej, no jesteś ogarem. Okej. To coś, czego nie mogliśmy zbadać ostatnio w naszym odcinku. Przeszukiwania opactwa. A to ci niespodzianka.
Agatha?
You always did have the most remarkable eyes, Hunter. Just like your mother's. Maybe that's why you're the first.
The first?
To commune with the spirits, of course.
Is this a trick of some kind? Because I am not amused.
No, it's no trick, dear. You're just the first to see me. By now you've heard I had a bit of trouble with my corporeal body. I actually find it quite liberating.
You are dead.
Always straight to the heart of things. That's my Hunter.
You seem strangely at ease about this whole thing.
After 1,000 years of living, you learn to take things in stride. Even death.
And what have you been doing all this time?
Meet me by the cave just over there. You know the one.
The Blood Gate? Caretaker always told me to stay away from that place.
I think we can safely lift the veil on a few more of our secrets. What's the worst that can happen? This ominous-looking portal is known as a blood gate. and you're the only one among us who can pass through it.
Bloodgate. Caretaker's handiwork?
Yes, Sarah got a little overprotective after the accident with Wanda. It's become something of a habit for her.
I have noticed that.
What lies beyond is meant for you as much as it ever was for her. Assuming you're up to the challenge, that is.
You know I am.
I do. But it's always polite to ask.
Ominous indeed.
Próba starszych bogów. Otwórz drogę do zablokowanych miejsc. Spoko.
Not what you were expecting, is it? There was a time when the blood stood within these celestial halls to prove their worth. This particular arena belongs to a goddess who often favored Sarah, OSHTUR.
Sarah? Caretaker was here?
Nothing ever comes easy, dear. The Elder Gods felt their descendants needed to earn their blessings, which is why they created these trials to begin with.
Trials? I should have known.
This entire realm exists for that purpose. Trial by combat, with no chance of outside interference. Yes, but I may have found a loophole they never considered. Why don't you try summoning your four-legged friend?
Charlie?
The old gods are responsible for a great many creations, including your faithful companion. I think even they tend to forget that. Good luck, dear.
Pokonaj wszystkich wrogów. No dobrze, jakaś próba
As
nas
the
czeka.
goddess of balance and order,
Zobaczmy.
OSHTUR was sometimes called the giver of justice. You can expect a fair fight, or at least her idea of one.
Co my tu mamy? Jedno.
You were too weak for this fight. Your mother abandons you. Leave some for the rest of us. Feel my call. Once again, Lilith's servants fall.
Ojej, nie mam nic ruchu.
Good girl, Charlie. Oh, and you too, Hunter. You finished this trial, but don't worry. The other gods are waiting.
No proszę, w jednej rundzie. Jak się chce, to można. Pajęczyny.
This looks like it belongs here.
Słowo mocy. Dar OSHTUR pozwala otwierać wszystkie magiczne zamki i bramy. Słowo mocy otwórz zapewni Ci dostęp do nowych obszarów i pomieszczeń na terenie opactwa, które zostały zamknięte w magiczny sposób.
Sarah was right to be wary of this place. But it's your birthright, and I think after everything you've been through, you can handle it now. The two of you, as well as your mother, are the last of your kind, the blood. Your lineage follows an unbroken line to the old gods themselves. And if you call upon them, you might just find they're actually listening. They won't work miracles for you, but their blessings can be quite useful in the right circumstance. Why don't you ask the goddess OSHTUR for her aid in dealing with that barrier over there? Hunter, hello.
Słowa mocy to magiczne inkantacje, których Hunter może używać na terenach opactwa. Aby użyć słowa mocy, przytrzymaj R2.
Blessings of the goddess.
Jak teraz mam biec? To jest skrzynia.
The goddess disagrees.
After all this time, it's still just as beautiful as the first time I laid eyes on it. It's hard to believe Lilith and Caretaker brought this place all the way from Transia. Of course, it was no coincidence that they wound up so close to Salem. This area is particularly attuned to the forces of magic. That's why the Elder God's influence was so prevalent here. And why our sanctuary here has remained all but impregnable over the centuries. And now I'm rambling on like an old sorcerer supreme. Why don't you come see me in the library tomorrow night? Oh, and let's keep this just between the two of us for now. I'm afraid Sarah, caretaker, isn't ready to see me yet. Good night, Hunter.
Dobrze, mamy nową cofkę gammę do przeanalizowania.
Good girl,
Właśnie.
Charlie.
Charlie'ego. Odziak.
Is this thing on? Hunter, please come to the forge at your earliest convenience. Again, that's Hunter to the forge. Thank you. Strange out.
We still have so many more movies to show you, like 70s grindhouse flicks.
Hunter, just in time. His royal weirdness and I were deciding what to do with that nasty little Hydra gift box you found.
Ah, yes. The spooky crate.
The very one. Though it is far from any mere container, I assure you. I am detecting powerful emanations from inside. If this is a sign of what Hydra is after, I fear we are all in grave danger.
My offer still stands. I could fly the thing up and nuke it in orbit. Only way to be sure.
Or we could open it, Tony, and perhaps use the mystical energies I sense inside to our advantage.
Yeah, I heard a "we" in there. Green goopy gamma serums are one thing. I'm not opening boxes full of mummy curses.
You don't have to. Hunter, if you'll allow me.
Your second funeral, boss.
Dobrze. Gadamy z
Whatever.
Ręczem.
If Hydra is now working to acquire mystical antiquities, then our situation is very dire indeed. We need to find a way to gain the upper hand.
And you think you can do it with whatever is in the container?
Tony has one of the greatest scientific minds that I've ever seen. I, of course, have an unparalleled understanding of the mystic arts. I have no doubt that we can find a way to research whatever we find in there and have it work in our favor. I just wonder what it could be.
I hope the two of you create something powerful. I want to stop Lilith quickly and decisively.
As I said, I'm sure it can help us. I just need to convince Tony to set his ego aside. His discomfort with the esoteric nature of the arcane might be a problem.
But Tony's eccentricities aside, I know you can make this work.
Right now, with the sanctum out of my reach, I'm fighting with one hand tied behind my back. Metaphorically, that is. If I can find items to research, I can give the Midnight Suns every possible advantage over Lilith and her disciples.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Me too, Hunter. Now, all this talk is going nowhere unless we can get this container open and study what's inside. Step up to the anvil, Hunter. It doesn't bite.
Okej, czyli krzyżykiem mogę zmieniać sobie zadania.
What have you brought me today? I'm always in a few places at once, so No time is ever wasted. By the hoary hosts of Hoggoth, I can hardly believe it.
What? Is it worse than you expected?
No, it's totally unexpected. It's the Eternity Dagger. This was in a place of honor in my bedchamber in the Sanctum for years. The Sanctum Sanctorum is no common domicile to be burglared. These barbarians have no idea what they possessed.
Or perhaps they did. Maybe these artifacts are exactly what Faustus and my mother were after to begin with.
A distressing thought. If they had my dagger, then who knows what others of my priceless possessions have passed through their greedy fingers. The cube of nothingness. The tear of Profia, and most worrisome of all.
Your toothbrush? You, had a little coffee thing going on this morning with your breath?
Oh, Tony.
Sorry. Doc's right, Hunter. I drank 3 glasses of holy water just to walk through the Sanctum's front door. Place is like a doomsday vault for all sorts of supernatural nastiness. We need to put a lid on this mess. Pronto.
I believe Carol is already working on it.
At last. Now that this artifact has been returned to its proper owner, we shall see if we can make use of the mystic forces contained within. To be fair, it does look interesting, at least.
Muszę posłuchać artefakta. Wręcz się nad nim rozwodził, jakby to nie wiadomo co było. Ukończenie projektu badawczego zajmuje cały dzień, ale zapewnia potężne nagrody, takie jak ulepszenie pokojów, przedmioty bojowe oraz stroje bohaterów. Nadnaturalna produkcja, co to jest? Możemy... Aha, możemy badania zrobić. Dobrze, nadnaturalna produkcja. Splatanie magii z nauką jest dobre w teorii, ale w praktyce, cóż, nie mamy zbyt wielkiej praktyki, jednak jeżeli będziemy z Tonym pracować razem, możliwe, że uda nam się stworzyć całkiem potężne przedmioty, które pomogą Ci w walce. Dobra, tu mamy gry wojenne. Karol twierdzi, że musimy bardziej się przyłożyć, żeby pokonać to nowe zagrożenie. Jak zwykle ma rację, ale żeby osiągnąć więcej w walce, musimy najpierw osiągnąć więcej tutaj w później. Samokształcące stacje robocze z SI analizującą w nieskończoność sytuacje bojowe może nam pomóc lepiej wykorzystać te cechy. Droga kłów. Jako mistrz w 13 sztukach walki to nie koniec. Blade mógłby nauczyć północne słońca kilku podstawowych technik odpychania wrogów w walce. Jednak nawet najlepsi nauczyciele potrzebują odpowiednich narzędzi. Nie swoją zadanie. Mamy ukończyć misję z Blade.
2 in a row. This is a major breakthrough for you. I'm so proud I could be here for this moment.
I'm glad you're amused.
Po kolei lecimy.
All right, let's get started, Dr. Spooky.
A przy okazji zanalizujemy
So, how's the
cewkę.
whole saving the world thing going? Analyzing. What do you think?
Szarża. Z kolanem. Zobaczmy. I kolejna karta z odpychaniem.
Big Tony's Forge of Mystery. We never close.
Tak, to nam się przyda. Na razie tak zostało. Przy łańcuch też bym nie poprawił, ale badania. No dobra, czyli nasza kuźnia ma już opcję analiza cewki gamma, badania artefaktów i badania zwykłe.
I'm here if you need me.
Używanie zdolności. Zyskujesz nową zdolność bojową dla bohatera. Otwórz ekran bohatera, aby wyposażyć się w tę nową zdolność. Używanie i odzyskiwanie. W zdolności można się wyposażyć, lub zamieniać je na karty znajdujące się już w talii walki bohatera. Wszelkie nieużywane zdolności warto odzyskać, by otrzymać esencję, która jest wymagana do tworzenia ulepszeń przedmiotów i wielu innych rzeczy. Dobra, zdecydujemy karty. Bohaterowie muszą mieć w swoich taliach bojowych 8 zdolności. Aby użyć nowej zdolności, najpierw musisz przestać używać zdolności, którą chcesz zastąpić. To jest dobre. To jest odepchnięcie. Kurde. Wszystkie mam dobre ten. Bo tu odzyskujemy kartę, no to myślę, że to zamienimy. Ale ta znowuż... Dobra, sprawdzimy ją w walce, na razie nie będę tej odzyskiwał, bo ta szarża może się nam okazać słaba, ponieważ ona nie zdaje obrażeń. O nic, zatwierdzamy talię. I jeszcze modyfikacje, bo mamy nowe stroje kąpielowe. Aha, ale my tak musimy kupić. Jak się tylko wódkami różnią, no to bez sensu.
Hey Hunter, got a sec to spare?
You moving? You've been here more in the past few days than I have since ever. The forge is pretty badass, but the creature trapped inside riles up my own inner demon. Speaking of, there's something you should know about me.
You are bonded with the spirit of vengeance?
Damn, you're good. How could you tell?
You are not the first spirit of vengeance to join the Midnight Suns. I fought beside another just a few days... 3 centuries ago.
Oh man, sometimes when I have crap to work through, I like to get my blood pumping. Why don't we hit the yard for a sparring session? I know Sparky's excited to meet you.
Sparky?
That's what I call my spirit of vengeance. His real name is something you'd see written on a symbol, but with like 12 apostrophes. Also, he's not allowed inside after the incident with caretaker Sumerian sofa.
He allows you to call him Sparky?
Well, yeah. He knows it's coming from a good place. He's really impressive, Hunter. I can't wait for the two of you to meet. Okay, let's do this. I'll get Blade to set things up. Won't take a minute.
I will head to the yard. When you and Sparky trade places, what does he look like?
He's the guy with the flaming metal skull and hellfire chains. Kinda hard to miss.
Ghost Rider.
Hunter, ready to get your burn on? I'm talking training with Ghost Rider.
Spirits of vengeance train the
O,
hardest.
codzienny sparring, dobra. Zobaczmy, co to jest.
Like
Każdego dnia Hunter może wybrać nowego partnera do sparingu, co prowadzi do zacieśniania więzi i unikatowych nagród. No dobra.
Maybe you should be the spirit of vengeance.
A to już?
Nice and ready to work?
Hunter, report to the war room. We've got a mission.
O. I moi drodzy, mamy misję. A to oznacza koniec odcinka i misję ogarniemy już w kolejnym.
What's shaking?
Najpierw pogadajmy. Nie, inaczej. Teraz zakończymy i spotkamy się w kolejnym odcinku, gdzie Kapitan Marvel da nam jakąś misję. Grał z wami Rzeźnik. Trzymajcie się, cześć, pa pa.